Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Hope all of you are doing good. So from this year we will study about the information technology rather than the computer application subject. It is the subject code 402. So in this we will study about the information technology. So basically this chapter is divided into 5 or 6 units. So in the first unit we are having the communication skills. Basically the book is of employability skills. So first we have to understand what is employability skills. These skills are those basic skills necessary for getting, keeping and doing well in a job. So these are the skills, knowledge, attitude, and actions that enable workers to get along with their fellow workers and supervisors and to make sound critical decisions. So it is said that in a field of IT, in a field of information technology, we have to continuously work on our skills to enhance them. Okay, so we have certain skills which are divided in the book in units. So let's see what are the chapters we will study. So the book is divided into two parts. Part 1 is employability skills. In this, unit 1 is communication skills. So in communication skill we will study about the types of communication: verbal, non-verbal, visual, perspective, factors, writing skills of communication. And in the second we have the self management skills. In this will study about the self management skills and its component, its factor in building the self confidence. And next we have the ICT skills. ICT means information and communication technology. So in this we will study about various components of ICT, role of ICT tools, basic computer system, hardware, software, memory, input, output, basically all the basic architecture of a computer, various operating systems, whether it's Linux or Windows, keyboard, mouse operations, etc. We will study in this. Next we are having the entrepreneur skills. In this we will study about the business activities, about the entrepreneurship, characteristics, roles and rewards of it. And in chapter 5 we will study about the green skills. Green means it's already concerned with the environment and the ecosystem, or the factors which cause environment's imbalance, natural resource conservation, green economy, green skills, etc. And another part we are having the vocational skills. In this we have the unit 6, that is the information technology, IT applications, and the data entry and keyboard skills, digital documentation like MS Word document, MS Word interface, page formatting, paragraph formatting, etc. Then we will have the electronic spreadsheet. Spreadsheet means the Excel, Microsoft Excel, and the digital presentation like the Microsoft PowerPoint presentation, their tools in it. So now let's begin with the unit 1, that is the communication skills. So before going further, first we have to know about what is communication. So the word communication comes from the Latin word that is to communicate, meaning to share. So basically when there is any sharing or the exchange of ideas with each other occur, then the term is known as the communication. So we know that what makes human beings different from other living organisms, it is their ability to communicate. Let us suppose when you are hungry you ask for food, okay, but can a dog or bird do that? No, a big no. Sometimes it happens that the food is not ready and your mother have to prepare it. So in response, she uh, said to you that you need to wait. So when you are unable to understand a concept, you request your teacher to explain that topic again. But if an animal has lost its way, it has to find it itself. It cannot ask someone else for the direction. So this is the difference between the human beings and the uh, these animals and birds. The human beings have the tendency to communicate, but they don't have, but the dogs or the birds, means the animals or the birds, don't have the ability to communicate. So basically communication skills are those fundamental skills which are needed to speak and write properly. So they are also needed to succeed in any workplace. So at the same time, people from younger generation may not know or even understand the importance of effective communication skills. Okay, suppose right now I'm telling these things to you, but sometimes you are not you are at the your younger generation, you may or may not understand what is the importance of effective communication. We are saying when you are will be when you grow up and will go for work, okay, then these communication skill is the first and the foremost thing which can be seen in you. Okay, your technologies, your skills, your other skills, what you know, your knowledge are all the second part. First, you are just on the basis of your communication skills, that you have the ability to speak, you have the ability to write properly or not. This is the first and the foremost thing which is to be noticed in you. So, a person who is able to speak appropriately while maintaining eye contact with the audience uses varied vocabulary and articulate speech to suit the need of the audience is generally said to be an effective speaker. Similarly, an effective writer should be able to use written words in various styles and techniques to communicate his or her message and ideas to the reader. So I think you are cleared with these effective speaker and the effective writer. So effective speaker is the one who is able to make understand his or her points to the audience side, and the effective writer should be able to use certain techniques and the certain vocabulary or the various styles and techniques to communicate his or her message to the readers. So the next we are having the importance of communication. So, your ability to communicate clearly and share thoughts, feelings, and ideas which help you in all your relations with other people. So, it is also very important because it promotes sharing of knowledge, it enables us to ask for help. It also helps in avoiding misunderstandings and hence potential problems. It allows the people to develop and build a strong relationship, and it also facilitates the growth and success of any organization or workplace. So some of the factors are given, like first we are having the inform. So you may be required to give the facts or figures to someone, for example communicating to the timetable of an exam to a friend. Now let us suppose that your friend is absent in the school, and on that day you got the timetable for the examination. When you came back from the school, and over the phone you are informing your friend that what happened today, that the timetable of the examination are distributed, then your friend may ask about the facts, means they will ask about the proof, picture of the timetable. So what you are doing, you are informing your friend, and in return your friend is asking for the proof. So next we are having the influence. Sometimes it happen that you influence or change someone's in an indirect but usually important way. So for example negotiating with a shopkeeper to reduce the price or helping a friend to overcome stress due to exam or any other reason. For example, sometimes it happens like if you want to buy something, you went to the shop and you are negotiating the amount of the product. So what you are doing, you are influencing the shopkeeper to act or to believe or to behave the way you want. Next is the express feelings. Talking about your feelings is a healthy way to express them. Yeah, it is very healthy way. Sometimes whatever you are feeling and you are expressing them, so what you are doing, you are sharing your feelings with someone. It is a very healthy way. For example, that you got a very good marks in your examination, and when you came back, you are sharing those feelings, those happy moments with your parents or friends. Okay, so this is the example of express feelings. So, the most important behaviors of communication are best understood when there is a lack of it. So, the first one is the knowledge. When we share information with others, suppose when our teachers, the mentors, or friends or families communicate with us, this is how we get to learn and gather the knowledge. Next, we are having the strengthening relationship. Suppose in a workplace when you can get to know each other, whether it's any company, any organization, what you are know when different peoples will come. So, like in the school also, you are having many students in your class. Some are having the similarities and some are having the differences with you. So your relationship with them can build a more solid foundation. This applies to anything in life. Okay, so next is the act of basis of coordination. It is a vital in coordinating activities among various departments and persons to achieve certain goals. So ways of achieving them or impersonal relationship. So we always have to, whether it's any company, organization, or any department, any workplace, so the coordination is also a very important thing. Next is increasing confidence. Communicating clearly means the people will be more apt to listen to you. Not only will you sound more intelligent, but will more easily get your point, whatever you want to say. So next is the relieving stress. A healthy and a good communication also relieve the stress and provide you the happiness. For example, you are the sender and the way you want to intend some information, the receiver is also understanding that information in that sense only, in that intended sense. So the discussion here is the healthy one. Next is the manage HR. Communication in the workplace involving personal communication between colleagues or the superiors or your friends is extremely important for the smooth running of an organization. Next is the leadership. A leader is expected to represent his or her followers and motivate them to reach high heights of success. Helps in socializing. So, in today's life, mere presence of another individual also encourages in the communication. Next is the controlling process. It helps in controlling the organizational behavior in various ways and in implementing certain principles and guidelines that employees must follow in organization. So next we are having the characteristics of communication. The first one, it involves at least two persons. So I think it is very easy, you can easily understand. At least two person is needed, a sender and a receiver. More than two is all good, but at least two person must have for a successful communication. Exchange of ideas or the facts or emotion, gestures, symbols, opinions, anything between the sender and the receiver. It is a two-way process, means if the sender is saying something and in response a receiver can also give the feedback. It is a continuous process. Communication is an endless process, dynamic too, and it also grows and develops. Communication is systematic. Every component of the process is affected by every other component. For example, if there is a fault in the telephone, it will affect the message received by the receiver. Next is the cultural circumstance. It is closely associated with culture like political or economic or socio-cultural or even psychological situation. So now it is understood that communication is a two-way process of giving and receiving the information. So different types are there. Following basic principles apply, like know your audience to whom you communicate, or know the purpose of communication and the communication topic, present a rounded picture, or follow through on what you say in your communication, present information in several ways, using the pictures, also using the models. Always develop a practical useful way to get feedback. Always have the positive body language when you are communicating to the audiences. So there are different kinds of information. These can be written, these can be verbal, non-verbal, or the visual communication. So here we will first understand about the written communication. So written communication is the act of writing or typing or printing symbols like letters and numbers to convey the information. Basically, with the help of our writing or with the help of typing any word or the symbol, okay, we are conveying the information through the by writing or typing any word or symbol. It is helpful because it provides a record for the information for the future use, for any reference. So written communication is commonly used to share information through the books or pamphlets, blogs, letters, email, etc. So when we use the written communication, suppose when we have a little time of urgency, we don't have any urgency, and the sender wants a record for future reference, the receiver will be referring to it later. You do not need immediate feedback. The message includes a step by step procedure. A copy of the message should go to another person sometimes. The ideas which you are saying, means which the sender is saying, are complicated, or the oral communication is not possible. So next we have the advantages of written communication. Few I mention here and many are given in your computer book. You can refer it. So first one is the permanent record. We already know that the written communication will be able to save the thing, to provide a permanent record, right? In future you need anything, written communication always provide a permanent record that can be referred from time to time or can be kept for any future reference. Next is the meticulous presentation, like in this no misleading will be occur. A good presentation of the document is created and it is easily understood by the audiences. Next we are having the easy circulation. So the easy circulation of any written document is also very easy in this. Like in the oral, the message which you say to someone sometimes mislead it, okay, but the written communication can be easily circulated. It is also suitable for statistical data and it also promotes the goodwill. So some of the advantages are given in the book also, like easily understandable, a permanent record for future duplication is easy to preserve and distribute, easy for legal tender, and no misinterpretation. So next we are having the disadvantages of written communication. In this, first is time consuming. So the preparation of written documents is time consuming. It costs the valuable time of both the writer and the reader. Next is non-flexible. Once prepared in large quantities, printed documents are difficult to change and no scope for clarification. Suppose if you want to clarify anything in the written communication, so at that moment it is not possible. Demands writing proficiency. So to write something with a very good techniques and technologies should possess certain qualities to write, should have a very good proficiency. Is probability of wrong interpretation. So technical documents are often too long and complex for the majority of readers to understand. So in this case, a wrong interpretation is a very common disadvantage in written communication. Apart from these, we are having some more disadvantages like lack of secrecy, useless for illiterates also. Oral communication and an illiterate person can also understand. Storage is expensive, take time to communicate. So this is all about the today's session. Hope you like and understand these points. So again, if you are having any doubt or confusion, you can ask me over the campus care or in the next session in Google Meet. Bye.